Thank you for visiting GoPack.com, the official website of NC State Athletics. I'm Tony Haynes, and the gentleman to my left, his name is Dwayne Ledford, and he is the Wolfpack's new offensive line coach and run game coordinator. And I would say welcome to Raleigh, but you're no stranger to these parts, are you?
No, my wife and I, we're very familiar with this area, and it's a great area to get back to.
Yeah. Did you sell your old house?
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
We did. So we're going to have to be in the whole process of trying to find a new house, a new neighborhood, and everything like that.
You just wrapped up your 4th year at Appalachian State. It was a very successful season out there, but how did this opportunity at NC State present itself?
Well, it's just one of those things where, the platform that at Appalachian, I think it just, we played a lot of crossover games, I believe, NC State and Appalachian this year, and have done that for last couple of years. So there's several teams. We played Clemson this year. South Alabama's obviously in our conference. Georgia Southern a year ago. And so there's some familiarity, I think, with, crossover games of seeing each other play and everything. And it just got to a situation where, when this position was open, or, I had an opportunity that Coach Doeren and I had an opportunity to talk with each other about it, and it just sprung from there and took off from there.
You're getting to know the guys who will be in your room for the coming years, and there's some talent there, some young players. But what was your message when you first met with your guys?
Well, that first and foremost, I think a huge responsibility for a college coach, and the whole reason why I coach at this level in college is it's about relationships. Regardless of what we put on a whiteboard as far as scheme, it's about relationships, and I'm all about fostering those relationships, helping them build and form an identity with each other. And we're going to be so strong with each other that it's going to be a band. Mm-hmm. And my whole thing is I want this to be the best experience that they ever have in their life. And to me, we're going to have such a strong relationship that those guys, I played for a lot of guys. I was fortunate enough I had a lot of coaches that I was able to play under, and and there were a lot of those guys I'd run through a wall for. Mm-hmm. I knew those guys cared about me. Mm-hmm. And that was the message I gave to all the players when I met with them individually, that you're going to know that I'm going to care about you. It's a family. And once we establish that and we form our bond, then we're going to be a tight-knit group and we're going to play extremely well.
And you have instant credibility with the guys. They call it street cred, I guess, these days, because you played in the National Football League.
Yeah.
What do you tell them about that experience and what it takes to get at the highest level of football?
Yeah, well, I try to just, because a lot of these guys that you're recruiting now and all these guys that you play, a lot of them, they have the dreams and the aspirations to try to continue their career at the next level. And so I try to help them along with that, and just like, well, it's going to take this, this, and this. This is what they're looking for. And so I'm able to, I try my best to relate to the kids like that. And the other thing is I've been around in a lot of locker rooms to where I saw how some guys were able to take their careers from being a 5-year player to 15, 20 years with a lot of the stuff they do in the off season to get their bodies at the peak performance. And so a lot of that I try to incorporate with my players now, with a lot of the stuff that we'll do in the training room with some prehab activities, but just trying to make them the best that we can make them. And so we can get the best product from them throughout their whole career here. And in any way I can help them with if that's what they want to try to do when they leave here or during their time here, is just let's make this the best time of your life. And because this game it's a great game to be a part of, but there's a lot of great lessons can be learned from it.
You're a new coach here along with the offensive coordinator, Coach Drinkwitz. I'm just wondering how you go about coordinating with him, learning his terminology and philosophy and those sorts of things.
Well, football's football, and it comes down to a lot of the fundamentals of the game. And obviously there's going to be a learning, there's going to be some adjustments and learning for me with coming into the coach's system of learning terminology, new terminology, and everything like that. But once you learn that, it's all good. And now we're getting in that with that same mission, that same mindset, and trying to get our guys to go out and playing the way that we want them to play. And having that mindset of how we want them to approach the game every day.
Does your knowledge of this state, North Carolina, really help in recruiting, do you think?
I would like to say so. I mean, I hope so. You know, I grew up in this state. I was fortunate enough, I coached 1 year high school football here at Sanderson High School. And so I've always recruited this area. I grew up in the western part of the state. I've coached at Gardner-Webb. I've been at East Carolina. I've coached at Appalachian State. And so I got a lot of, I'm very familiar with a lot of the coaches in the high schools here because that's important. And I got some great relationships with these coaches.
What do you like about Coach Doeren's vision for this program?
He's very passionate about what he wants for his team, what he wants for his players. And we had some great conversations about that during my whole process of getting to know him and getting to know this program. And for the very first time when I sat down with him, you just saw the passion. I mean, it just bled into you. The energy and the passion he had for this program and where he wants to take it. And to me, that was phenomenal because it's sometimes, you know, you can hear guys talk about that, but Coach Doeren, you could tell, I mean, that's coming from his heart. He is very passionate about it, and he wants to take this program where he wants to take it. And that, you want to be a part of that. You want to be a part of that energy. You want to be a part of that passion and that vision.
Well, you look great in that red, but at one time you played at East Carolina, and we know that NC State and ECU had some great games over the years. You were a part of a couple of those games back in the mid-'90s. Any memories from those games?
I remember Torrey Holt catching a couple of passes, and I was playing defensive end at the time. That was about the fastest person I ever saw on the football field, but they were always great games, and you know, and just the fanfare leading up to those games, and it was great being a part of that, you know. And obviously, we go down there this year, and that's going to be a great opportunity to go back there and continue playing those guys, and so it was always fun because anytime that you play in-state games, those are big games, those are important games.
Tell us about your family.
Well, I got a phenomenal wife. Her name is Meredith, and she and I we grew up in the same hometown. We didn't date or anything. It took a lot of persistence. I told Coach Doeren my wife is a true testament of my persistence. But she's at home right now, and but we grew up in the same hometown. We have a son who's 2.5 years old, and he is wide open right now, and she's pregnant with another one on the way coming in around April 14th, 15th. And so she's very excited about this. She loved her time when she worked and also lived here in Raleigh. And so we're excited about this move and this opportunity.
So you're saying she turned you down a lot?
Yeah, but my persistence kept me in the game. But she, you know, and the thing about with coaching, and you'll notice about she is very, very supportive in what we do, because what we do is it's really hard on your families at times because of the time that we were spending at the office or out recruiting and everything like that. And she totally understands that and embraces it, and she approaches it just like I do, as far as like it's got to be a family. And she welcomes all these guys in just like I do. She and Hudson, you know, they'll come over on Sundays, bring donuts for the guys. We'll have guys over our house, and because we want to be an extension of our players as far as being a family for them. And she's fantastic with that.
Well, Pack fans love persistence, I can tell you that. And then Dwayne, welcome to NC State.
Thank you very much.
We're so happy to have you here.
Absolutely.
Dwayne Ledford, your new offensive line coach at NC State.